All right, team. Hi. Let's talk about the limiting reactant, which I call the cheese. Now, when you have you're hungry, when you're hungry and you go home and you open up the drawer and you think, oh my God, I've got 18 slices of bread, and you're like, let's go make some sandwiches. So let's think about you're doing the math in your head and you're thinking, okay, I've got 8 slices of bread. Let's try another color here. 8 slices of bread. So let's call this bread, 8 pieces of bread. And let's predict how many possible sandwiches you could make. So for this recipe, 2 slices of bread, and we'll give you 1 sandwich. So you have a possible amount of 4 sandwiches. Okay, I'm just doing this for fun. You can do this in your head for sure. Like, oh, I got 4 sandwiches. I'm really excited. And then you go to the fridge and you open up and you only have 1 slice of cheese. And you know right away, very sadly, that for every 1 slice of cheese, for 1 cheese, you can only make 1 sandwich, right? So that can give you 1 slice of cheese can only give you 1 sandwich. So the cheese is what runs out first. I call it the cheese. It's also known as the limiting reactant. Also known as the limiting reagent. It's the same thing. Limiting reactant. The cheese. And how do you find out the cheese? What you do is you find out whichever one has the least number of moles, or any other way you're measuring moles. It could also be the least mass of product. Okay, so this one gives you one sandwich, so you know that that's the maximum amount of sandwiches you can make, and you know that the cheese is the limiting reactant. So you can't make more sandwiches than your cheese lets you. Okay. And you know, sometimes the cheese isn't the cheese, it's the bread. So say you go to the market the next day and you're like, you know what, I got tons of cheese, I'm ready to go, and you open up the fridge and you only have 3 slices of bread. And in this particular case, we know that if you did the math, you go, oh, 3 slices of bread, I can only make 1 sandwich. And for this one, oh, I could possibly make 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 sandwiches. Which one is running out first? In this case, it's the bread is the limiting reactant, and you can only make 1 possible sandwich, and you're going to have 1 slice of bread left over and tons of cheese left over. So it's all about the ratio here to figure out what the limiting reactant is. When you are solving a problem, they'll probably give you 2 amounts of reactants. You find the moles of products. Which one ever gives you the least number of products, that is the limiting reactant. Okay, let's do one of those problems together in just a second.